My parents being in the public eye, throw me under the bus for money.
What do you think really happened?
My gut feeling inside, I believe Kaylee was given something and she didn't wake up.
Do you think she intentionally wanted to kill Kaylee?
I don't think she intentionally wanted to. I don't think she intentionally wanted to, but she should be in jail because of Kaylee not being here.
I want to think he doesn't have the power to hurt me anymore, but he still does. And this was years ago. This interview. One of many that he and my mother did separately and together for money. For money. Throw me under the bus for money. Why? Why exploit this situation any more than it has been? I lost everything the day I lost her. Everything. And it doesn't matter what I've done in between, and the life I try to live, and how good I try to be. And every day I live with a broken heart. I want to know why. I want to know why she was taken out of my arms. Why didn't he call 911? I wasn't the only one that was home. Why? And why, after all of this time, keep blaming me for something I didn't do? Why?
I'm going to go first on this one. There's some true anger in here, but it's combined with some fake anger. So the true anger is flashing through her limbic system as these things fire off. So you can see it happening, but she's still trying to think about what she's saying so she doesn't mess up and can remember what her parts are that she's supposed to be acting out, in other words. The pursed lips, the chin jut, and the squinting eyes that are all focused tight on the screen. That's where we see a lot of those flashes of anger. And these aren't micro expressions. Micro expressions are really, really small, and we call those leaks of emotion, facial expressions. They're not micro expressions. Some are very, very short, but these are full-on expressions here because they're too slow. But they're flashes, but they're a little bit too slow to be micro expressions. And I think I'll end it there. Greg, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to quote a friend of ours about a different person when she says they're throwing me under the bus for cash. What the hell do you think you're doing? Exactly what came to my mind when I heard her say that, because he said that about somebody else. So there's this in-mouth adapter again. That's a predecessor to something that's about to happen. And then she shows rage. I think you're underestimating how much stuff is going through this woman's brain that rapidly, because I think what she does, you see that bite on the inside of the mouth, and then I call it pre-pub fight. She turns her jaw. She narrows her mouth first. She turns her jaw. She twists her face. Her eyes narrow. And then she comes up with that rage thing. And then she goes on about them throwing her under the bus. And then she says words that are powerful if they had the meaning we all meant them to say. I lost everything the day I lost her. If she had stopped right there, you might think, poor girl. But she doesn't. Then she goes on to have a soliloquy about why do they hate me? And the blink rate goes up. That doesn't make her likable. Of all the videos here that I've watched, this one makes me think it's anger at her parents that's causing her to come out and do this because they didn't support her story or whatever. Don't know what, but there's rage and it shows. And that pre-pub fight thing, I've seen it now for the third time, and it's most of the time around her father. Is it possible something else happened? Yeah, I'm not even touching that. But for some reason, there's rage here, and she's going after them about the very same thing she's doing, unless somebody's not paying her for this show. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah. So collision of emotions happening here. You've got concern, you've got suppression of thoughts, you've got anger, you've got stress, you've got disgust, you've got threat checks as well. I mean, it's crowded. It's crowded in this particular bit, which unfortunately makes the performance of this a little less dignified and start to get a little more ugly. So she moves beyond a good melodramatic performance of this and into something a little more unsightly, I would say. We got this theme, throwing somebody under the bus for money. There's a kind of a Judas-like abandonment that goes on here, abandonment of the parents. And so that fixes quite well to, this idea of a specific personality disorder that might be showing itself there. You love that kind of Moonlight Sonata-esque piano going on underneath, just pulling us beautifully along like a moonlit night traveling across a lake. The emotion there. So, understand the manipulation that's going on there. And then we get this why at the end. Well, that's Charlton Heston. That is like, that's epic. To do why. It's epic performance there. I mean, hats off I see you coming. I can see you coming, but hats off on that one. Chase, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, so one big thing that stood out right at the beginning is there's a shift to internal dialogue down here. So our eyes moved around in our head to access data and information. This is typically when we're talking to ourselves or thinking about how something's going to sound. And she does this right before the statement. Her face immediately shows this mixed bag of emotions that Mark was talking about. But in this video, we have a complete failure to identify a perpetrator. When she wants to covertly suggest that her father is at fault, and after years of abuse, she's unable to show anger at the father because of the loss of Kaylee. Only anger at their interviews, their opinions, and their betrayal. So when guilty people are undiscovered, there is a very common thing that happens. And this is an appeal to society that involves a covert communication of suffering and sorrow. And I think this is an unconscious attempt to communicate that they have been appropriately punished for what a person has done. So she's describing that she's no longer in need of punishment for the crime here, I think, because her life was ruined, and this is an unconscious process. So essentially, the unconscious phrase would be, if I just communicate my suffering for the act that I have done, the tribe will possibly forgive my actions. I think this is rooted into our DNA because we see this in every society and every culture.
My parents being in the public eye, throw me under the bus for money.
What do you think really happened?
My gut feeling inside, I believe Kaylee was given something and she didn't wake up.
Do you think she intentionally wanted to kill Kaylee?
I don't think she intentionally wanted to. I don't think she intentionally wanted to, but she should be in jail because of Kaylee not being here.
I want to think he doesn't have the power to hurt me anymore, but he still does. And this was years ago. This interview. One of many that he and my mother did separately and together for money. For money. Throw me under the bus for money. Why? Why exploit the situation any more than it has been? I lost everything the day I lost her. Everything. And it doesn't matter what I've done in between, and the life I try to live, and how good I try to be. And every day I live with a broken heart. I want to know why. I want to know why she was taken out of my arms. Why didn't he call 911? I wasn't the only one that was home. Why? And why, after all of this time, keep blaming me for something I didn't do? Why?
If you like this video, get the full body language breakdown and analysis on our main channel by clicking this video right here.